Hello, 'tis I, Wayward Brigand, and I'm continuing my Dawn of War playthrough. And I've finished Winter Assault, so I'm going to move on to Dark Crusade, which introduces two new armies: the Tau, which is this, and the Necron. Yes, I know the Necron were in the last game, but not as playable characters. So I'm going to go easy, and I'll explain this. This is not because I don't want to be challenged or anything like that. The campaign for this is different. It's not a linear, every mission tells another story. It's more open. You're given a map and you get to pick where to go. And for brevity's sake, I'm going to go easy. It's still, I'll still be able to go over, you know, I'll do it twice. That's also why I'm going easy, for brevity's sake. I'll do it once with the Tau and once with the Necron, because they're the two new races. So yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and do the thing.
The planet Cronus, beset on all sides by the tides of war.
I still don't know what the flashing flag is.
Battlefield. 7 armies clashed on this one world, each refusing to back down, each convinced it was in the right. From beneath the sands of Cronus' central desert came the Necrons, ancient machines bent on eradicating all life. But another evil already had its eyes on the planet. From the depths of the warp, the demonic forces of chaos arrived.
Oh jeez.
To enforce their claim. To
that was a weird looking thing.
Fearsome powers, the planet's rulers in the Tau Empire sent their elite soldiers and sophisticated battlesuits into the fray. From the mighty Imperium of Man came the Imperial Guard, there to secure Cronus for the glory of the God Emperor. Like a green tide, the Orc Horde descended on Cronus, caring little for others' claims and sowing destruction in its wake. The Eldar, ancient enemies of the Necrons, emerged from their webway to pursue their own agenda on Cronus. And last came the Space Marines, finest and most uncompromising of the Imperium soldiers. Seeing a world beset by aliens and heretics, they undertook a great purge. A dark crusade had begun. It could only end with the total victory of one of these factions, and the total defeat of all others.
Okay. So, the Dark Crusade clearly fashions itself after the Necron. You get to pick from one of the 6, the Chaos Marines, the Eldar, the Imperial Guard, the Necron, the Orcs, the Space Marines, and the Tau. For my first playthrough, I'm actually going to play as the Tau. I really like the Tau. They have some ridiculously powerful ranged units. Even really far, like, have really good range. So I'm going to do Tau first, and then the Necrons. And once we get to the map, you'll understand why I'm doing easy mode for the sake of brevity, if you've never played this game before.
The rise of the Necrons and the arrival of other powers on Cronus was a threat the Tau Empire could not ignore. With their doctrine built firmly around the so-called greater good, the Tau could not tolerate seeing a thriving colony taken away from them. The Ethereals, leaders of the Empire, responded to the distress signals from Cronus by sending some of their best and brightest to retake the world. Aunel Shiorez was among the most lauded of a new generation of the Ethereal caste. He would be responsible for restoring proper order to this wayward world. With him came the military
Wayward.
leader, Shas Okais, a student of the teachings of Commander Puretide. Okais brought a massive force of fire-caste warriors, as well as auxiliaries from the Tau's allied races, the Kroot and the Vespid. Tau ground forces landed in the city of Tashin, or Ashadis, to use its true imperial name. And from there began the crusade to retake the planet as a whole.
Okay, so here's the campaign map. First off, really quick about the Tau. Again, I'm not really a Warhammer like historian. I like these Dawn of War games, and I've read some of the fantasy medieval books. The Tau are the good guys in the Warhammer universe, or 40k universe at least. They're not as overly zealous as the Imperial Guard or the Space Marines. They're actually fairly democratic as all things go. It's actually really interesting because there's no one. The Tau are not a species. They are an empire, and there's many different species within the Tau. For example, there's the Kroot, which they mentioned. The Kroot, there's other species along with the Kroot. There are even humans in the Tau Empire that have defected from the Imperium of Man, and they're given a special name. And basically, as long as you work towards the betterment of those around you, you can be in the Tau. That's the greater good, and that's a very vague simplification, kind of like when I talk about Gork and Mork for the orcs, or the thing about the Horus Heresy with the Chaos Marines. It's yeah. So each of these capital provinces have special like stories, and that's your story. That's your substitute for story missions. Otherwise, you can invade out wherever your commander is. Go directly out from there. Each of these territories has a special thing.
To the single-player campaign.
No. For example, this, if I win, I get a special unit. This is actually one of the Tau leader units. If I go here, I get a veteran stealth team, which is a really cool secondary unit. If I go here, the bulwark, I forgot what that does. It helps with reinforcing, apparently. This, I get Fire Warrior bodyguards, which are a special, like, super unit. The Kroot Extra, Kroot Alpha Pack. I don't know. A Crisis Suit Guard. So most of these are unit, increased manpower. Yeah, some of these are like elite versions of basic troops. Increased production. Fireward bodyguards. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to attack here first, because these Fireward bodyguards are really handy. And then I might attack here and get the forward base, and then here to get the Kroot Alpha Pack. These are really handy. But eventually I'm going to want to wipe out these orcs. So I'm going to invade here first. Now, you're given requisition here, and every time you can sometimes get new things. That'll be more apparent later. I'm gonna go ahead and attack. Okay, so the one thing that makes it really weird that I like the Tau is that they do not have turrets. And if you watch any of my other Dawn of War episodes, you understand that I love me some turrets. So I'm going to do first is I'm going to get some stealth units to capture points. get some stuff first. Give me just a second. Okay. Get some fire warriors going. Some investment stingwing strains because they can detect infiltrated units. Oh. Now the reason I got them is I'm actually expecting this. There we go. There we go. Okay, so you there. You there. Oh, okay. Can't capture. Anyway, so I'll have you be there. These two. Build the listening post there. The listening posts are the only turrets the Tau have. Some more fire warriors.
Point us at our targets.
There. Let them do their thing. Okay.
The Firecast serves with pride. The Firecast serves with
There we
pride.
go. So I'm actually going to.
Like Tau, we shall triumph.
Once they're done, I'm actually going to.
It will be an honor. Tau, we shall triumph. Target confirmed.
Ah, dang it.
Our bond is strong.
Almost.
We will not fail. The silent hunters are ready. We shall prepare an ambush from there.
Okay.
Shazla, ready for action.
We'll capture
take it.
this
We
relic.
have spread the greater good for the greater good.
Okay.
Our bond is strong. We will not fail. Awaiting orders.
Okay.
Orders received.
Build another listening post. Then I'm going to build up a butt ton of power generators.
The Earth plans to below its march. Orders received.
That's not. There you go.
Construction matrix engaged. Ready to build.
Okay.
Orders received. Drop cranes.
Okay. So I don't think they're going to throw anything too crazy at me right now. So I'm just going to build up my forces a bit.
Ready to build. Drop cranes. Service required. Construction matrix engaged. Acknowledged. What's our next target? Awaiting orders.
Now I need to reinforce this, which I could do just a moment. There we go. Might as well reinforce this one too when I can. As much of that happy sauce as possible. That black thing only happens when I'm not actively doing something. Maybe that's the key. Okay. Cool. Okay. You come over here.
Shazla, ready for technology of Tau makes us strong.
Make sure everyone is nice and equipped. There we go. Send him back.
Shazla, ready for action. XP-22 battlesuit ready.
Okay. The great path to enlightenment. I like this music.
Prosper as Tau shall.
Make sure everyone is fully upgraded. Let's have all of my units come. The one thing I've noticed is Tau units tend to take forever to build things. So I'm going to go ahead and just have a bunch of people doing all the same stuff at the same time. Or a bunch of drones. As well.
Don't let the prey get away.
Okay. Stable.
Keep firing. Eliminating targets.
Okay. So I can get commander units
Prosper as Tau shall.
and equipment. Okay. Three of them. To build a vehicle beacon as soon as I can. Come on. Come on. Go with that as far up here as I can.
Ready to build.
Okay. Now what I want are these crisis battlesuit teams. They are awesome.
Ready to build.
Have one of them start command post. And then these are gonna be My favorite little beasts. Beasts, when I mean beasts, I mean tanks. My favorite tanks. Going to have fair enough. Every single one of those there.
Ready to take command.
Build up a nice little
For the greater good. None can stand before the greater good.
strike force. And I will see you next episode. Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And see you next time. When I come back, I'll have more stuff established.